Okay, we are rolling to our post-qualifying for the Sylvania 300 Sunday here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the first race in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Our second and third fastest qualifiers have joined us. Our second fastest is Clint Bowyer. He drives the number 33 Cheerios Hamburger Helper Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. And Tony Stewart is our third quickest. He drives the number 14 Office Depot Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. Clint, talk about your qualifying effort. You get a good pit selection. How will that come into effect on Sunday?
Just the importance of qualifying is so big. It's very hard to pass here, so just proud of the guys. That was a team effort. We were off in practice there and made a couple of adjustments. The car really came to life and got us a good lap. So that's the stuff you got to do to compete with the elite crowd that we're in this chase. You got to be able to pick it up when you're down, and it was a good step in the right direction there.
Tony, talk about your qualifying effort out there for this afternoon.
I was happy with it. We didn't really make any changes after practice. It felt pretty balanced. We, ended on top of the board there, and not necessarily sitting on our hands thinking that what we had was good enough, but I just didn't really know what to ask him for to go faster than what we ran. I felt like my balance was good. It was just a matter of what was the track going to do. But I think it was a little dry rare and tried too hard, but I didn't lose too much time and had a good run with it.
Okay, questions now for either Clint or Tony. We'll start here with Reed and come over to Mike.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. For both guys, very uncharacteristically for a chase race, there are only 4 chase drivers in the top 10. First of all, does that sort of make you feel like you've got a leg up on everybody? And in terms of this racetrack, what's the relationship between how these cars will race versus how they qualify?
Got a leg up on them for Friday. After that, they'll run you down, and it'll be a race. It'll be the same old guys. It always is. That's why they were in the chase. But I tell you, it keeps getting closer and closer. I think the level of competition just keeps getting tighter and tighter, with each and every race. So I think that's why you're starting to see guys that don't normally sit on poles, and everything else. I mean, this is a track where you can, make some – it's time to go, and a lot of people are making – big strides at their setups and their chassis, and it's showing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's it's never an indication of how the race necessarily is. It never has been, so I don't know why anybody would think that now. So it's you've been to enough races, this isn't the way it is. So
go ahead, Mike.
Just to follow up on that, though, for both guys, though, do you feel though? With that separation in the field, that it could create some havoc for them trying to make their way up, and the top 2 seeds are looking like they're going to have to start pretty deep, in this field.
No different. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel, guys. Same thing we do every week here. This is no different than everything that everybody that made the chase has done to get in the chase. So you're seeing the same thing that we've always seen here. There's always guys that that race a lot better than they qualify and just miss at qualifying. So it's 2 laps to hit or miss, but you got 300 laps to make it right for the race. So it's you don't overthink this. It's not that complicated.
To answer your question, you hope so, but probably not.
Right, exactly what he said.
But you'd rather start up front.
It's always easier if you start up front. I mean, it's easier the first 26 races if you start up front. That theory hasn't changed for 60-plus years in NASCAR. It's always better to start up front, or in any form of racing.
Let's go, Rich, and then I think Kenny had a question, and then to Don. Go ahead, Rich.
Gentlemen, how does cool, dry weather conditions affect your decision-making during a race?
It's much easier than cool, wet conditions. Makes me a lot happier. I stay drier. I don't like when my shoes get wet.
You tend to get hot when it's hot outside, and it's not much fun. But, it gave the track a lot of grip. I mean, that was a track record, I think, right? So, it just shows you how much it picked up the racetrack. But once you get into racing conditions, all that goes by the wayside. You got to be able to handle on lap 25 and not necessarily on the first lap. So, it's going to change big time throughout the weekend.
Go ahead, Kenny.
KennyBruceTeamDaily.com. Tony, you talked about, you guys aren't doing anything different. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Is there any temptation if you aren't running as well as you would like to be to make bigger changes or take bigger swings?
I think if you're not in the chase, yeah, you have the flexibility to do that because I don't think there's a huge sense of pride in being 13th in points. I might be wrong, but I think guys at this point of the season that aren't in the chase are already looking toward next year, and obviously there's a reason they didn't make the chase. So those guys are trying to find a chunk and trying to experiment and try to figure out things in these last 10 weeks that they can do to help their program for next year and hopefully give them an opportunity to be in the chase. So I don't think at this point anybody that's in the top 12 is going to do anything really radical outside the box than what they've been doing that got them there.
Go ahead, Don.
Tony, you're one of the few guys in the chase that didn't bring a new car. This car you finished second. Bobby said this. You finished second here with this a couple months ago. But even in just 2 months, how much have is it the same car or is it evolved? I mean, and is that evolution so quick?
I'm sure it probably has. I mean, I didn't even know about that till somebody else asked that question, which, again, to me, it's whatever car is the one in the garage when I get here, that's the one I'm driving, so that's the one I'm going to concentrate on. I'm not going to worry about something that's sitting at the shop or something that we're bringing here for the first time. But, there's pros and cons to bringing new cars out. The pro to it is obviously if it's a new car, it's something that you think's better. The negative to it is you haven't ran it, so you don't know if it's not a guarantee that just because it seems better or you think it's better that it's going to be better when it gets on the racetrack. And some cars, historically, I mean, they all come out, it's the same jig and they're welded all the same, but sometimes you get cars that you just like better than others, and that's the negative to bringing a new car to a race in the chase like this. So, I don't really think it doesn't affect me either way. I mean, if Darian said, "Hey, we're going to bring a new car," I trust his judgment that there's a reason that we're doing it. The car that we've brought only has one race on it, so it's relatively new. It just has one race, so we at least know what the history of this car is over that one night and how it reacted to change.
Any other questions for Tony or Clint? Okay, guys, thank you, and good luck this weekend. Thank you.